Live. All right, people, come on in. We got a great show tonight. We're talking about immigration and the impact that it's having on the Black community. So I need you guys to come on. I got special guests. As of right now, we're not taking any calls, so don't call in, people. I got three guests on the line, and they want to talk. This is going to be a learning process, and I want you guys to come on in. Come on in. This is live, uncut, unedited. We have to talk about the immigration problem that's going on here, especially in the city of Chicago. Some people don't see a problem with it. Some do. Most do. Some don't. Most of us do. So just come on in. This is live, uncut, unedited. Make sure you share the video. Share this video. This is live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. What is it? Live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the. All right, Katie Brown, I see you. 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 All right, y'all. We're going to get ready to get started. I need a few more shares, too. A few more shares. All right. Few more shares. Few more shares, people. This is live, uncut, unedited. I need at least 10 more shares, people. 10 more shares. Then we can get started. Share on your page. Pin it on your page. That's what I need you guys to do. Pin it on your page. I'm going to pin it on my page, and I'm going to share it to another page. So I need you guys to do that for me. We're live, uncut, unedited. Let me see how many people to share this video. I got 6 shares. Come on now, people. We got more people than that. We got 30-some people on one page, 2 on other. I need at least 10 more shares. 10 more shares, people. Share it on the page. It's going to be a great conversation, a great conversation. And it's going to be a learning lesson. I want to hear what the ladies have to say. I want to hear, because I'm a student. I'm a student tonight. I'm learning. I'm learning. All right. All right. All right, ladies. We're going to get started in a minute. I'm waiting a few more people coming. We have 43. Come on in, people. This is live, uncut, unedited. Live, uncut, unedited, unedited. Who's going to start us off tonight, ladies? Which one of you guys going to start us off? Sister Carter, okay.
I'm going to start you off. I'm going to start us off tonight. Good evening.
Go ahead.
My name is Carter Trust.
Okay.
And tonight I want to let's talk about democracy.
Okay.
Let's talk about democracy here in the city of Chicago. Let's talk about how the Democratic Party likes to talk to us about democracy, being the party of democracy. Well, is it democracy when the people of the Austin community say to you that we are not willing to give up our park for migrants, and you basically tell us that it's happening anyway? Is that democracy? Let's talk about the Democratic Party and immigration and migration. Let's talk about when Trump was in office, there was control in the border. And when Biden came into office, that control ended. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about the fact that President Biden is sending money to Ukraine, sending money to Israel, sending money to Palestine, but won't even send the money to the city of Chicago to support the migrants that he's allowing to come in. Let's talk about the fact that we as Black people in this United States have been asking for reparations and we can't get them, but we live in a country that will send millions of dollars outside of millions of our tax dollars, I might add, outside of this country to support other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's talk about the fact that these Venezuelans that we're supposed to be welcoming, let's talk about the fact that Venezuela was one of the first countries to participate in the Atlantic slave trade. See, we don't talk about that.
Right.
Let's talk about how the Venezuelans in Venezuela hated Hugo Chavez because he did things to favor the Black Venezuelans there who had been discriminated against, who had been marginalized, and who had been disrespected. Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. But then you want us to open our arms like Black people always do and welcome them in. And let me just ask you this last question.
Okay.
once we welcome them into our communities, so see, if you follow history, you know that they don't give a damn about us. Just think about or research how they treat the darker skinned people in their country. Do you think it's going to be different? See, one of the things that we have a problem with doing as Black people is we don't study history. And see, I was taught that if you don't study your history and learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it. So now you think about the fact that 18,000 Venezuelans have entered this country, into this city in this last year, and they're still coming, and they're coming to our community. What do you think that looks like for us? Listen to this. Now you also see that war-aged men are coming by the busload. What do you think that means for us while we're out here killing off each other? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, people.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. All right. Who we got next on the line? Want to say something? Go to the next person.
I'll go next, Martin.
Okay. I got some questions for you guys.
Mama Doris.
Go ahead, Mama Doris.
Let me start off by reading something that Dr. King said. And these, first of all, these are illegal immigrants. In his book, What Would Martin Say? Clarence Jones, one of Dr. King's lawyers and a close advisor, argues that Dr. King would vehemently oppose any form of amnesty for undocumented immigrants. It goes on to say, he'd say, if you're in this country illegally, have you come here in order to protest what you consider an unjust law? If you haven't, then for whatever other reason you're here, even if it's to make money for your sick child, which is as good a reason as there is, then you're just violating the immigration laws of this country and deserve no more consideration from the authority than does a feast. This is what our beloved Dr. Martin Luther King said about immigration. So what's this government of the United States? This has been a hostile takeover by starting with the United States government with Joe Biden. What Brandon Johnson has done here in the city of Chicago is a hostile takeover. They have violated the Constitution. They're violating every law there is on the book. Brandon Johnson didn't hold any kind of meetings in the Black community prior to the arrival of these people here. Desmond Yancey did not hold any meetings here in the 5th Ward prior to these people coming here. All of a sudden, he jumps up and says, he issues a notice, we're going to have an emergency meeting to discuss this situation.
Sister Doris.
Well, I went to
Sister
the meeting.
Doris, I'm going to let you go. I'm just reading too. Somebody educate me on that. I heard that it's 25,000 Palestinians is coming there. Is that true? Coming about
25,000 Palestinians in addition to the Venezuelans and
where's
others.
The city voting in next
I
week
have
about
not heard
letting
that.
in. Okay, they're supposed to be voting about letting them in. 25,000. That's what somebody just put on my page. I'm sorry, but go ahead, Sister Doris. I just want to talk that. Go ahead.
I don't know about that, but anyway, I went to Yancey's meeting, and I went there to interrupt and disrupt, and that's exactly what I did. Now, what Black people don't understand, these people, prior to them coming here, all you see working in the Black community are Hispanics. But I also want to say, before my time is up, this could not happen without Black politicians being complicit. Black politicians up there in Washington, D.C. has voted for all of these legislations that favor the Hispanics, legislations that are really specifically for Hispanics. Black folks can't get a plug penny from any of these programs. They have been sponsors. They have been sponsors and co-sponsors of these legislations. So it is our people. It is our people who are contributing to our demise and are destroying any kind of future that our young people can possibly have. So I'll stop right there.
Okay. I got a question real quick. The question is, I'm asking any one of you guys that answered. I know, do you think, why are these politicians, and I'm going to say Democrat because we're more Democrat here in the city of Chicago and Cook County. Why is it that they be on so much fire coming in, but when they get in, it's like they just get watered down? What's going on? We get the same broken promise year after year, election after election. What's going on with this?
Well, what's going on is they can be complacent. They're complacent because we're complacent. See, yeah. we continue to vote them in. We have these elected officials who are dying in these offices. They get in the office probably with the right frame of mind, but then they get co-opted so quick, and then it just goes on and on and on. It's a continuous cycle because they know that for some reason or another, we as Black people are going to vote Democratic no matter what, which is why I'm saying to Black America, not just Black Chicago, but to Black America, we need to rethink the Democratic Party. And I don't know that the Republican Party is exactly where we need to be, but we damn sure need to rethink the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party is not serving Black people. Black elected officials are not serving Black people. Anytime you have a mayor who will stand in front of the city and say, we are going to continue to welcome these people in spite of what my people, my constituents, the people who have voted for me, have said, then that is a person who has become complacent. And he ain't even been there but a couple of months.
So do you guys think that Brandon Johnson is in over his head?
Oh, yeah. No, Brandon Johnson is doing exactly what the Democratic Party wants him to do, and that's push this immigration agenda. No, he's not in over his head. He knows exactly what he's doing. But what he has done, he has betrayed the Black community in one of the worst ways you could ever betray a community. And, you know, we have been conditioned to support our own because we want to see our own do well and be successful. But this is a different day today. These people are out for themselves. And as Carter just said, we have not held anyone accountable for anything. It is time for Black people to rethink this narrative. We cannot just vote for a Black person anymore just because they are Black, because Brandon Johnson is a classic result of what we will get. And the rest of those 19 or 20 aldermen down there in city council, they cannot do what they do in that city council without the support of the Black aldermen. The Black aldermen are in a position to stop anything that goes on down there, but they're divided. They don't care about us. They're down there for themselves, and they're doing the bidding of this racist white supremacy Democratic Party.
Hold it right there. Marcia, go ahead. And I got another question, actually. Go ahead, Marcia. No calls, people. Please don't call in, because it's a listen and learning session. Go ahead, my dear sister. 678, come on. Is she on the
Hello?
line? Yeah, go ahead.
Hey,
go. Yeah.
Brother Martin.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to say that the Patriot Act was implemented after 9/11. And it was implemented to keep America safe from terrorists. But yet the southern border is wide open today for any terrorist, any murderer, pedophile, rapist, sex trafficker, thief, just to walk in unchecked with no criminal background check, no COVID check, no identification, no paperwork. This is an extremely dangerous situation, and Brandon Johnson doesn't have sense enough or the courage to stop accepting these busloads of illegal immigrants. It's nothing in the sanctuary city policy that says he has to continue to accept these buses. And if it is, by now he should have had enough sense to write an executive order and end sanctuary city policy. Okay, my research brought me across that Harold Washington implemented sanctuary city policy in Chicago by executive order. So Brandon Johnson can end it by executive order. But he won't, because he's a puppet for the Democratic Party, as Sister Doris and Sister Carter has said previously.
Now,
okay, their plan is to run Black people out of Chicago. And if we don't take a stand and hold on to what little bit we have, we will be the ones under the viaduct in 10 cities, sleeping on park benches, because by the time that Obama Center is finished, they want us out of here.
I got a question, you guys. Maybe Sister Doris or the first sister too. Oh, whoever can answer. Now, it's this thing called, Mark Carter always talk about the Office of a New America, what they're trying to bring here in Chicago.
Oh, I was about to say that.
Come on, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Come on.
Black Chicago, those of you who are listening, you need to get this document. It's called the Chicago New American Plan. This plan is about immigrants, only immigrants, not Black Americans, not Black Chicago, immigrants. It talks about what they're going to do for them economically, what they're going to do for them in terms of education, in terms of jobs across the board. They are they're supporting them with all of the resources that they can put behind this plan. And this was a group of philanthropists, social workers, business people. They all came together. And this was under Rahm Emanuel's administration. Mark talked about it day in, day out. WVON, they would cut him off. They would criticize him. People called him all kinds of names. But he started talking about this in 2011. And here we are in 2023. It is in our lap. It's not about us people. It's not about Black children. It's not about Black people, period. It's about these immigrants, and it's in place. If you walk outside your door in any ward, who do you see working? Hispanic. All the programs that they're putting into the schools, the Hispanic children, immigrant children. We need to wake up. This is serious. In California, the Hispanics in Los Angeles ran Black communities out of Black families out of their communities. They terrorized them. They told them if they didn't get out, they would kill them. So finally, the FBI came in, and about 2 weeks, they indicted them. They found them guilty. What that is known to be Black is 60% Hispanics now. They have run them off the land. That's exactly what they intend to do for us here in Chicago. Run us off the land, take our property.
Sister Doris, hold on. I got my preacher sister. She came in and screamed, the woman of God. Come on, sister. So go ahead, my dear sister.
Well, love and peace, everyone. Love and peace.
Hold on. Let me get the sound in right. Hold on with her. Let me just see. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this sound right with you.
Okay.
We can't hear you.
You're not hearing me?
Check your sound.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Check your sound.
Test.
Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
No, that's
okay. Great. This is.
Hold on, sister. Hold on, because we're really not taking no talk. Cause we got this special. You can just listen in. Just hold it, okay? Just they didn't want to take no call. It's just one of these four. I'm trying to get this preacher sister pastor on here. Pastor, I don't hear you.
That's Pastor Victoria.
Yes. Nobody don't hear you. Trying to get in.
Test.
Okay, just go in and go out. Go in, come back out.
Testing.
That might do it. I can't hear a sound. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to her. But who else want to comment about the immigrations? the office of the new Black America, well, new immigrant America. Sister Doris.
Well, I would like to say something.
Go ahead, my dear sister. Go ahead.
The thing is, that concept came from Black people requesting to have an office for Black Americans. Okay? And they used our concept and replaced Black with Hispanic. Okay? And they used the whole structure that was submitted for Black people to give it to Hispanics. Now, I'm just saying, we built this country. Okay? We've been here for 468 years. We have not received our long overdue reparations. And how can you explain Hispanics getting an office in Chicago before the people that built Chicago? It don't make no sense.
Well, it's the same way you explain them giving them $9,000 a month for rental assistance, and we still have homeless people here in Chicago who can't get $1.
Thank you.
But
so make that make sense.
I don't know if you guys remember, I had a person leaked to me from Twitter and said that they was giving each adult $5,000 per adult, the child $1,500 and $200 per week. That's what they was giving before this came out with the 9,000. So I don't know if this part
I remember that.
Yeah, and I said
I remember that.
Nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. Oh, he just talking. But it leaked out to me. I couldn't reveal the source where it come from. I'm still not going to do it. And she said, it was a woman. She said, watch, Martin, in the next couple of weeks, that lot going to be full out there, full of cars. Remember, the migrants came in on the bus. There was no cars in the parking lot. All of a sudden, they're getting all these cars now. I'm talking about Wadsworth. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Where they getting the money to buy the drugs?
Over there fighting.
Yeah.
They over there fighting the residents about parking spaces for the cars. Okay.
But I just want to throw that up. You know,
go ahead,
Sister Doris.
These illegal immigrants that are here in the Lakeshore Hotel, right across the street from where I live, they have spent $2,500,000 people. $2,500,000 on these people. These people are fed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. These people do not even have to make up their bed. They have people cleaning their rooms every day. When on God's earth have we ever been afforded any of those kinds of opportunities? And what people need to understand, these are our tax dollars that they're using to take care of illegal immigrants. When you have 68,440 homeless people in Chicago, 53% of them are Black. Black politicians down there in the city council know they cannot do this without their support. There are 20 down there. Rahm Emanuel could not come up with the New American plan for the immigrants without Black politicians being complicit. We elect these people to represent us, to look out for our interests, to watch those kinds of things. They are not doing it. So we have got to start organizing, and we've got to put these people out. I don't care if we run a dog for the position. But we got to get rid of these Black politicians. What did Malcolm say? Before you can get to that white man, you got to get that nigga out of the way.
All right.
Baby, that part.
Listen, I think I got some. I think this might be passive Victoria on there. Caller 4586. Who are you? 45, last four digits of your number.
4586 is Pastor Victoria.
All right, come on, Pastor. Come on in. I'm sorry. We're not taking any calls, people. We have 4 special guests, and that's it. They didn't want to accept any calls, ask no questions. They wanted to speak. Let them speak. So go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead.
Well, love and peace, everyone. I'm very grateful for what I'm hearing of my sisters. We're all working diligently on behalf of our people. I want to weigh in a little bit with regard to some of the terminology. I'm really concerned. One thing that we have discovered is that the people that are being brought in on these buses they're illegal migrants, and an illegal migrant, a migrant is a person that leaves their country to seek employment or work in another country. It's very, very critical. Now, they are illegal immigrants because they're working towards becoming immigrant citizens of Chicago. But at this point, these people are here to work. They're illegal migrants, and it's an economic migration. So the more of those people that come in and get the job unchecked, no background checks. Now, our people need to really pay attention to this. Now, check it out. Illegal migrant is going to get a work permit. They're starting to do it already. So they will have a work permit. They'll have a clean background. As Sister Erica just mentioned, no background check, no paperwork, nothing to sustain or substantiate who they are or what they may have done. So now real talk. So this migrant with no background, no paperwork on a background, not saying that they don't have a background, just saying no paperwork for a background. Now you think about a young black male or female going after that same job, but that black male or female have a background. They have documented background.
That's right.
They're not going to have a chance to get the doggone job because the person they going up against to compete for the job got a clean slate. A person that's not even a citizen got a clean slate, clean. Our guys and our young ladies are not going to have a chance at the majority of these jobs. And we know that when people are not working and not productive, we know that crime goes up. And I'm real concerned about that. And another thing I want to bring into the conversation is the fact that the resources, this budget that they're requesting for the migrants, we say no. We say absolutely not. No, no, no. We say no additional resources, no additional funds. Those funds and resources are needed for the Black community. We still have the same issues that we have had. The city of Chicago in 2021, they put out a publication called The State of Black Chicago, The State of Health of Black Chicago. And they listed about 8 different areas that we are literally suffering. I mean, I'm talking about only in 2021. The issue is not so much that we giving any glory for them publishing making this publication and doing the report. That's not the point. When I read the report, the first question I had is, okay, what you gonna do about it? How you gonna tell me and my people? We already know what our issues are. We're suffering it every day. This is real for us. This is real. So we don't need anyone at this point to tell us what our issues are. We don't. But if you decide to tell us what our issues are that you think you know so well, then the question is, what are you going to do about it? We deserve the resources. Our young people deserve the best that we can give them. And that is why we are in this battle. That is why we're speaking up and speaking out. One more thing, and then I'll be quiet.
Okay, go ahead.
We have got to pay attention to the violence in Chicago. And the thing about that is that the resources for mental health services, conflict resolution, and anything else that we can get, because we are focusing on the future of illegal migrants. The future now, listen to me real close now, we're working on their future, but we're burying our children.
Yep.
We're burying them.
Yes.
Literally. Did we not just have a 12-year-old killed this weekend?
I talked to his mother today.
No future. So
Yeah.
people that don't believe what we're saying or don't want to hear what we're saying, that's all right. But you can't ignore the fact of what is going on. A lot of this is just logic. You follow the logic. And murder has come to my family personally this past. So I know that this
who
is
is
real.
that? Who is that doing that?
That noise in the
The
background.
flood of guns is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
The flood of, and I'm going to wrap it up. The flood of guns is an issue. All these resources, all this money, all these funds, we need to apply those fundings right to the Black community. And we will not apologize for saying it. And don't tell us nothing about looking in the eyes of anybody. We look into the eyes of our people, and particularly our young people, every day. And we are not going to let the light go out of their eyes. So, yeah, we looking in the eyes of our people.
Well, Pastor,
those are a few things I wanted to bring in, but we have got to pay attention to this, and don't explain it away.
Mm-hmm.
Don't explain away, oh, that's not that, or oh, that's not just this, or no, that's not what they talk. Yes, that is what they're talking about. And not only is it what they talk about, it's what they're doing. So I end my comments by saying no to the budget, no additional funding, no additional resources. Redirect, or I should say direct, those resources to the Black community where they are deserved and where they're needed.
Sister Erica.
And yes, a pastor said it.
Okay.
Yes, a preacher said it.
All right, Pat. Sister Erica, I need Sister Erica to address this real quick. Sister Erica, do you know in the state of Illinois, from the ages 18 to 25, unemployment is 47% here, right? In the state of Illinois, actually, 47% from ages 18 to 25 of Black people.
That's right.
That's
that's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
But
and that is. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Erica. Go ahead. I want to hear from you. Go ahead.
Well, and that's another reason why we are speaking out and sounding the alarm on this illegal immigration. Because first off, rent is so high right here in this state, in Chicago, in this city. If you're not making at least $25 an hour, you will not survive out here. Okay? It's best for the children to stay at home until they stack some money. Now, you have a whole new population coming into this city, and you have corporate America that is plotting on them and plotting on us as well for low wages. Now, I've been looking at this whole job market, and I'm watching how maybe forklift drivers was getting $23, $24, $25. Now it's been dropped down to $18 and $16. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is, if you pay attention to these wages, they sneaking them down a little bit by little bit because they have thirsty people coming in that will accept anything. And so that's going to make us homeless because you're going to be working 24/7. You're going to have 2 jobs, working 12 and 16 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're going to kill you before you can even think about getting a pension. Okay, so it's all a plot, Martin.
Yeah,
They want to force our children out here into a life of crime. You know, they're not giving them the opportunities that they deserve.
And let me say this, as my friend Monique McGee said that she low key, but she said, well, Martin, why would they want to bring the migrants to Chicago if Chicago is so dangerous, all this shooting and violence going on? Shouldn't that tell us something, people? Shouldn't that tell us something?
Okay. But Martin, you remember that meeting we was at last week with the police commander?
Yes.
The police commander told us that the cartel is in Chicago. Did he say it?
Yeah, he said it. I got proof.
And he also said that when they encounter these illegal immigrants, they don't have ID. And they told us that it wasn't illegal for them not to have ID.
That's what he
but
told
they've
us.
been arresting us
For years.
in the Black community forever for not having ID.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's a double standard.
That's right.
They want to make all of these laws. And then this is the last thing I'm going to say, Brother Martin. This whole thing with this Safety Act, they want to make it seem like they did something for Black people or poor people. But that was strategy. If you notice, they passed that when these buses start coming in here with these illegal immigrants. The police don't even have any power to arrest them. I seen video of police officers being attacked by women at a women's shelter in Gage Park. Didn't nobody go to jail? So that would stop. I want them to stop lying. Kim Fox and all of those other deceivers talking about that's to help Black people. No, that's to help these illegal immigrants to make sure they cannot get locked up. And another thing, these people are not coming here just on GP. They were invited by Joe Biden, the Chicago Teachers Union, and Brandon Johnson went over there a few years ago as well. They gave them an invitation to come here. And I'm gonna shut up now.
Okay.
I'll talk about it later.
This is coming from the top. The United States government that is being headed by Joe Biden people. This is serious. This is a plan. They have been putting this plan in place for a while. And Martin, I have this invoice description of what they're paying these Indians over here in this hotel where there are 500 of these illegal migrants. The actual cost as of 8/17/2023 is $2,653,508.94. This is as of 8/17/23. These are our tax dollars, people. Black people, this is your money that they're using to take care of people who are not citizens of this country. And just to show the cruelty of what these people have, what this government has done. You bring poor, destitute people from around the world and dump them into poor, destitute communities here in Chicago. That is so cruel. But it's all about the Democratic Party trying to maintain its voting population. Its voting population. Okay, let me jump to the states. Pritzker just signed into law that illegal immigrants can become policemen. Most of the Black caucus down there voted for it. It was only three who voted against it. Only three who voted against it. And I will continue to say they cannot do this without Black politicians being complicit. And while we do have some voting power, we better get them out of office or we won't be around. And one last thing, why you talk about bringing people here to work when in some parts of the Black community in Chicago it's 50% unemployment? And when it comes to these people getting a job, this new American plan, they are telling them they have to hire them. They're telling them you hire them over Black people.
I mean,
yes,
Sister
indeed.
Doris, let me say this, and I'm be honest with you guys. What I see, the wealthy people, wealthy Black people or established Black people, I hear a lot of them say they're not worried about it. But I'm thinking about, well, what about our children? the ones established already, such as yourself, Sister Doris. What about our grandchildren? What the future is going to look like for them?
I'm right here in right here in the Newport condominium in Hyde Park. Educated black people, black people who have money. For the most part, they don't care.
That's what I thought.
They do not care. I am doing this for the children. I cannot stop because I know black children will not have a future. They plan to lock all of them up. And black people should be ashamed of themselves. Black politicians, black ministers, black people who are in positions, who have a voice, and they're not speaking out against this. The churches have been co-opted. The churches is faith-based nonsense. They have been co-opted. They're telling us, how dare Brandon Johnson tell black people we're going to have to sacrifice? How dare he say something like that to us?
Absolutely.
It's insulting. We have to sacrifice for illegal immigrants, migrants from around the world. These people come here, as my grandmother would say, they don't have a pot in the window to throw it out of. But I tell you one thing, they are going to surpass us. They're already surpassing us in this city.
I agree with that. Let me hear from our first sister that called. I mean, the first one to talk. I forgot her name.
Sister Carter.
Sister Carter, you there? You here? Did she hang up?
I am. I'm here.
Come on, let me hear from you.
Go
ahead, sister. Go ahead.
You know what? I've just been listening to my sisters on the line, just taking it all in. But and we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the money that is being spent. Let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the fact that housekeepers were getting up to $17,000 per month. Security guards, $24,000 per month. Nurses, $64,000 per month. Wow. This is the money that the company that is also busing the people into Chicago, the favorite healthcare staffing. This is the money that the city of Chicago is paying out. Our police officers don't make what these security officers make.
Hold it, sister. Hold it.
The housekeepers here, you don't think?
Hold it, sister. I want you to go right back and rewind. Repeat yourself. Say them numbers real slow. Say that out so for those that missed it. Say that again. That's vitally important about what they're paying out to.
Real slow. I said is, baby, let's talk about the money.
Right.
And let me also say that these were not only non-Chicagoans, but they were non-Black people. Housekeepers, $17,000 per month. Security guards, not police officers, not federal agents, security guards, $24,000 a month. That's what they got paid from the city of Chicago. Nurses who came in to work with migrants, $64,000 for 1 month of work. And the city paid it. The aldermen okayed it. Rubber stamped it. And you mean to tell me as Black people,
tell the truth,
we're still
and shame the
asking
devil.
for reparations? It's criminal. I had a young lady to tell me today, well, Miss Carter, it's the same thing that happened when Blacks migrated to Chicago. And I can't say what I wanted to say, but I had to tell her, girl, get your life. It ain't nowhere near the same. First of all, we didn't come to this country willingly. Let's get that established, first of all. Secondly, this country has never given Black people a fair shake. We have never had the opportunity to have somebody to make sure that our kids were taken care of and that we had roofs over our heads. Hell, we don't have that now.
Amen.
And you want me to stand back with open arms and say it's okay? I think not. I think not.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Absolutely.
Listen, people, again, if we don't get organized, now we can make noise, but we need to get some results. Now we can go protest, sit in, scream and holler like the other people did the other day, beat up, well, shove the alderman help or something. But we have to get really organized and do something. We have to do something because, I mean, they got this ball rolling. It's rolling. And Black people aren't getting this contract or nothing. We have to do something. Nothing.
Hell, I don't want a contract. Just give us a fair shake. Can we get? Can my homeless relative get $9,000 a month? I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. What kind of help can Black people who are suffering here in this city get? Because see, to me, if you're homeless, I ought to be able to go stand in the same line the migrants standing in and get the same thing they're getting.
That's right.
There's no way.
And if I can't get it, then we got a problem.
Yeah.
Because I remember.
There's no way.
Go ahead, Sister Doris.
We have 20 Black aldermen down there. And this stuff is being voted on. There is no way in hell that should be happening. So we have to protest. We have to organize. We have got to do it to take them out. I hold them responsible because you were put in there to look out for us. They have not been doing it for the last 20, 25 years. We have allowed it to go on.
That's so true.
We have allowed it. I am angry because you can hear my anger and my passion because, I'm retired. I hadn't planned to spend my retirement like this, but I cannot forget what it's going to do to these children. Do we Black people talk and stuff about loving Black children? No, we don't. Because if we did all of the things that are happening to our children, we would be on the streets by the thousands, screaming and hollering. We don't love Black children. And these children don't feel as if they love us. And that's why they're doing what they're doing. I will repeat forever. Dr. King said, violence is the language of the unheard. Who's listening to them? We're not listening to them.
Wait a minute. You're talking about listening to them, Mama Doris. Who's talking to them?
Nobody.
Who's teaching them? Who's educating them? Who's putting them first? Nobody. And that's why we have what we're having. We have a whole system, society that has failed our children. They failed them.
They want to fill these jails with
killing each other. Our kids don't have any self-love.
I want to ask you guys a question. Why is it the aldermen, I believe, just my personal opinion, that the aldermen are playing both sides, especially the Black ones. They playing on both sides. They pretend like they didn't know. I mean, somebody comment on that. I mean, help me out.
They're lying. They're lying. You cannot sit down there in that body and not know what's going on. You're getting those documents. You're voting on those bills or whatever they're put before the city council. You're voting on them. They're lying, and the reason they're doing it because they do not fear us. Nobody fears us.
Nobody fears us. That's right.
And why should they fear us? We voted Democratic. We vote the same people in every single year. We got aldermen that's been sitting aldermen for the last 25, 30 years. Our congressman has been congressman for the last, 20 years. Why should they feel like they have to hear us? We continue to vote.
Well, you know what, Brother Martin?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you this. Until we understand that we should not vote for personalities, but we should vote for policies that will help us and make our life be a little bit more comfortable, we're going to keep repeating this cycle. because black people vote for politics, for personality.
Yep.
And if and we can't just vote for someone because they resemble us. I'm sorry, we can't do that anymore. Barack Obama should have showed us that, and all of these crooks down here in Crook County. Okay, because that's where we live. We live in Crook County. They said this is the most corrupt city in the country.
False confession state.
Now, think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we're going to have to do too.
And in terms of those aldermen, if somebody want to say they didn't know, that's inexcusable. They are there to represent the people. They are there to represent their ward. And as I was saying in my earlier comments, part of this is logic. It's logical that if you're there to represent the voice or your people in your ward, then you already know that if there's only a certain amount of resources and you are voting for those resources to go outside of your ward, then you're working against the people. I mean, so there is no excuse. People, if someone want to say, well, I really didn't get the full scope of what was really going on. Well, it's your job to know what's going on. You're not a puppet. You're not supposed to be a puppet.
Amen.
You're supposed to be a person with integrity, backbone, courage, and everything else, and knowledge and skill, and the heart and the moral compass, and righteousness to do what is right. Because it's always right to do the right thing. So that's no excuse. And if you don't really know what you're doing, then you need to resign or get out of there anyway. You don't need to be there. These are like glorified neighbors at this point. I'm serious. Like they are like this glorified neighbors, and they're really not even being neighbors. They are down there doing us in, working against our best interests. And when you talk about the children, my goodness, I mean, this is, as Mama Dora said and Sister Carla and all of us are saying, this is about our children and our grandchildren and et cetera. And you asked the question, what's going to happen to them? Well, we're seeing what's going to happen to them. They'll be more subservient than we already are. We'll go further down on the rung of the ladder and really be non-existent is what really, that's the bigger agenda. Okay. That's the bigger agenda. And then we look at the schools, like I'm hearing now that these children, the children of these illegal migrants / immigrants, they're in the schools now. So those resources are going to follow those children right into those schools, CPS, and that's going to be even less for our children. They're already coming out, barely can read, barely can do math, barely can do basic things. So how are they going to compete for jobs or careers? How are they going to compete? They took the trades out of school. They have done, they're doing a job on our babies, and we just cannot. I don't care if it's 5 of us. We have to stand for righteousness. This is unjust and it's unrighteous. And it's never right to be unjust to anybody, and particularly your citizens. So I just wanted to bring up that no, there is no excuse. If you're down there and you got this job to represent your ward, the borders of your ward, your own borders, and you don't know how to do it, or you don't have the heart to do it, then you need to go get another job, because our children are literally dying. And I am very hurt right now. On a personal note, just lost a 22-year-old cousin to gun violence here in Chicago. Heard about the 12-year-old. I didn't know that family. 12-year-old. No. Our children deserve to live and have a good, great, wonderful, bright future, just like everybody else's children. Point blank. Period.
Now, let me. I want to go ahead, sister. Go ahead, Sister Doris. Go ahead. I want to say something.
How can Desmond Yancey, talking about logic and righteousness, how can Desmond Yancey,
hold on, Sister Doris, hold on. Let me clear this line. Listen, I'm sorry, we're not taking any calls. If I'm not talking to you, I need you to mute your phone. I only got 4 people on here. We're not taking any calls. I am so sorry. We said that earlier from the start. Okay, so if you're on here just listening, put your phone on mute. You're not allowed to talk. I'm sorry. That's what I was asked to do. They just wanted to be a learning session. They were not answering no questions. So you can listen, but I need you to put your phone on mute if you're on this live. If you don't put your phone on mute, I'm going to have to block you off. Go ahead, Sister Doris. Go ahead.
You know, if we're talking about righteousness and logic, how can Desmond Yancey, the alderman of the 5th Ward, Mark Carter is trying to get in,
But let's...
alderman of the 5th Ward,
do y'all want to... Hold on. Sister, do y'all want Mark Carter? Because you guys told me you didn't want no calls. So
yeah.
You'll take Mark Carter?
Get Mark Carter on.
Yeah, let Mark in. That's
okay,
our
okay.
brother.
I'm just going back what y'all told me now. Okay, I'll let Mark in then. Okay.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Sister Doris. Mark, I'll come to you next if you're on the line. Go ahead. Go ahead, my Sister Doris. Go ahead.
We're talking about righteousness and logic.
Right.
How can Desmond Yancey, alderman of the 5th Ward, be comfortable, be satisfied, be content with 500 illegal migrants, immigrants at the Lakeshore Hotel when you go south of 57th Street in the heart of the 5th Ward where Black folks are living, and it looks like a bomb been dropped there. And he is not opening his mouth about anything. And that's why I stay on him. How can you, in your right mind, 64% of his constituents are Black. They're poor, they're homeless, they're unemployed. And you vote for $51 million for these people across the street from me? No, we cannot, they cannot continue to do this. We have to do whatever is necessary to take these coons out.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Mark Carter, are you here? Mark, are you here? Mark?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Hey, listen, let me just say something. I was told that they didn't want to take no other calls, so I don't want you to think I'm hating or anything like that. I'm just doing what I was instructed to do because they just wanted the show come on here and talk. But since they said give you the green light, that's it. So I don't want you thinking I was hating on you, nothing like that. So that's not the case.
Oh, no.
Okay, okay. All right.
I actually just tuned in, so I didn't know that was the order of the day.
Okay.
But let me say this. I mean, hey, the soldiers are here. When it comes to Mama Doris, Carter Trust, and it sounds like Pastor V. Is that on the phone?
Pastor V. Yeah, Pastor V. Yeah.
Look, these are the soldiers, bro. These are our big sisters, our mothers, grandmothers. These are the ones that strong men must stand with, protect, and make sure that when they're speaking, that they don't have to worry about any backlash, right? Now, if you remember, we were having this conversation, Martin.
Yes, we were.
And what was the young lady's name that was constantly arguing with me on every point? I don't know if she's still tuned into your show. What's her name?
Erica.
Yeah. Right?
Right.
Hold up, the other Erica is on too. So
not that Erica. Not that Erica. That little young. Yeah, not her.
I mean, is Erica Dunn on the phone too?
Yeah, she's here. Yeah, she's here.
I'm here, Brother Mark.
Right. But what I'm saying is that you remember prior to the election, during the election, after the election, I told you that mass immigration was going to turn into an even bigger problem. Okay, we were already looking at this, talking about it, having these shows. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be quiet because I know the sisters have been on here and been given the information. There's no need for me to do a lot of talking. It's time for organize. It's more of us than it will ever be a politician. The days are long gone where these politicians are going to continue dictating to us. In the whole state of Illinois, it's less than 1,000 politicians. Over here where we live on the west end of the city, less than 20 politicians are in position over here on the west end of the city. So we don't have to do a damn thing that they say. We don't have to listen to a damn thing that they're saying. We the power, and we're going to dictate the position. We say no to the sanctuary city, we mean no. I even talked to some of the groups of these pastors that went along with Brandon Johnson, and now they're eating crow. They're wishing that they hadn't voted for him. But I put the challenge on them today that if y'all wish y'all hadn't voted for him, then we expect for y'all to get on board with y'all resources to help us organize when it comes to this movement. This movement to stop these immigrants from taking over this city, because that's exactly what's going to happen if we don't rise up and demand that they give us the same office that they have given these immigrants until they, unless they come with Mama Doris. What's the name of it again? I keep forgetting the
contract with Black Chicago 2023.
Exactly. So the contract with Black Chicago merged into us having Office of Black Americans. It all speaks the same message. And any politicians that go against us, then we going against them. We don't care if they listen to us. We don't care if we like them. We don't care if they go to church with us. Ain't but two places.
That's right.
That's right. Fight. Either two sides. I mean, either you with us, or like Bush used to say, you with the terrorists. Plain and simple. And that's why we got to draw this line in the sand with all these politicians. We got the numbers, not them.
That's right.
The whole city council is made up of only 51
right.
people. So we don't have to do a damn thing what they say.
Now, let me say something, Mark.
Great
Now,
point.
Let me
Great
say
point.
something. Now, our problem as blacks, we're not organized. We're not together when it comes to do things. We got this little clique over here, this little clique over here, little clique over there, and this clique might be eating, this one might not be eating. Then they get quiet over here. Man, listen, something has to be done. Trust me. It's too much money coming in the community, and it's not touching our youth, not touching us or nothing. Just a few people are benefiting for what's going on from migration. And trust me, I know these aldermen know what's going on in these communities. And listen, I voted for Brandon Johnson twice. So I'm holding his foot to accountable. Listen, I asked him to come on my program to talk to the people. I supported you. Tell us what's going on. Now I'm waiting on to get a response, people. Trust me. And they talking about they want to give me a script. No, I'm not going by no script. This is live, uncut, unedited. I'm going to ask the question. You're not going to dictate, give me no questions. No, I'm not going to deceive the people. Trust me. Well, we'll give you a set.
Mark, you know what's so good, Mark?
Yeah.
You know what's so good? See, one thing about a forest fire is that you create a bunch of brush fires, eventually it's going to be a forest fire. So whether it's us in the black area, whether it's in Austin, or black people out in South Shore, people in Lawndale, or the whites and Hispanics and Asians in Brighton Park, or whatever, after a while, all those brush fires, it's going to be a forest fire. And by the time that Democratic National Convention get here, even if they may not even want to have or to be here after this uprising and everything that we see is so slowly happening. So we don't have to worry about black people that don't stick together. We looking for the ones that do. Right now, we're looking for the A-game people, the ones that's gonna stick together, the ones that's gonna stay on it, and then the rest of them catch up later. We got to stop talking about what. Go ahead.
And the revolution has never been started by a lot of people. That's why we're having our press conference on tomorrow at 4 p.m. at 2325 East 71st Street. That's Desmond Yancey's office. And we know one reporter who will be there, and that's Mr. Martin.
That's right.
That's right. Mr. Martin.
That's right. Uncut, unedited.
You have a relationship and a connection to the black community. I don't expect these other people to come. If they come, good. But we don't rely on them. We have been planning. So what we're doing, Martin, we're in the process of educating. Sister Cloud and Mark and I were over on the west side supporting Brother Tyrone. And we let those politicians know, y'all ain't going to come in here and tell us what to do anymore. You are going to follow our directives.
That's right.
We mean it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
while I'm on it, let me read our demands for tomorrow, Martin.
Okay.
We want we want that man down there to sign this executive order immediately ending sanctuary cities. We want the illegal immigrants, migrants removed from our communities. We are demanding that the alderman and the mayor no longer accept busloads of immigrants into the city of Chicago. We want them to vote no on the budget that includes an additional $50 million or any amount of money for the immigrants. Vote no. We don't want them down there voting for any money for these people. And we're demanding that they set up and fund the Office of Freedmen for Black descendants of American chattel slavery. When we also support candidacies of Republicans, Independents, and Democrats, anybody running who opposes sanctuary cities, those are the people we're going to support. And we want the aldermen, we want the Black legislators to support the Illinois African American for Equitable Redistricting map and Standing Committee for Black Student Achievement. And lastly, we want them to stop the land grab of senior citizens' homes and to replace us with illegal immigrants. They are taking senior citizens' homes in South Shore. And all of that is related to that doggone Obama Center. They really plan to run us off the land.
Mm-hmm.
So these are our demands.
And the
they
contract
either
with
meet
Black
these
America.
demands and the
Black
contract
Chicago.
with Black America 2023. These are our demands,
Mhm.
and if they cannot honor these demands, then you will be gone.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's just that simple.
Have to.
Can I
Have
ask you?
to.
I can ask you guys a
Gotta go.
question. Pastor V, are you still on here? What can we
I
do?
sure am.
Okay, I want you to answer this, and maybe somebody, but I want you to answer this. What can we do? Okay, now we voted Brandon Johnson. Well, I voted for Brandon Johnson. Okay, now Brandon Johnson still have 3 years left. Now, a lot of us, include myself, I am not satisfied for what he do. At this point, I'm not satisfied of his progress here in the city of Chicago. So my question is, why is it we have to wait another 4 years to vote somebody else out before we do anything? Is there any other alternative way that we can do something to, get organized to do something? We have to do something. We just can't afford to wait till another 4 years.
So to answer your question, a couple of things. We were given information, our core group, we were given information that there's a stalled Laquan McDonald Act downstate in Springfield. The Laquan McDonald Act allows for mayors, aldermen, all other legislators to be removed from office.
Mm.
And it's based on their acts, things that they do or don't do. There are certain stipulations, and what we're doing right now is that we're trying to locate or get in touch with the legislator that sponsored the bill. We understand that it got stalled in committee. We're doing our research to track it, to get it out of committee, to get it unstalled, because that is a huge problem. So we're working on the Laquan McDonald piece, and then there's a podcaster that has put out regular podcasts concerning this issue. And this particular podcaster said that that a mayor can be recalled, I believe it's like when they're in 6 months or something to that effect. The third thing I want to say is that we are actively looking for legal support, and not just in Chicago. We're looking at national lawyer groups that are bold enough and courageous enough to stand up and work the law on the behalf of the people. There is the home, what is that with Sister Erica? The home land policy? No, that's not right.
Home rule.
The home rule policy that also has stipulations where I believe you have to get a certain number of signatures to take over a territory if it's not beneficial for you as a resident. Now, I'm paraphrasing.
If it's not safe, and yeah, if we're under threat, and the people that we put in office to govern are not doing things in a kosher manner, in which they're not. And home rule can be used to end sanctuary city policy immediately.
Well,
so Brother Martin, my point is that I'm glad you asked that question, because us people getting up, kicking, screaming, and hollering, that was brought up earlier. And that does have its place, but we want to be the people that's listening, that you're telling not to call in. This is a wake up call, and we are doing it not just in one lane. We're looking at as much of this as we possibly can, including legal law, even though they breaking the law, but we're looking at what legal measures, policies. We're trying to scrub through any and everything that can help us with this situation. But that Laquan McDonald one, that seems like one of the most promising things that's on the table right now that can help us where we don't have to wait 4 years. Now, with Mayor Brandon Johnson, so we are where we are right now because we're still researching those laws and everything. However, Sister Erica has been consistently putting out this statement that our disturbance leads to resistance. What is that, Sister Erica?
Well, self-preservation is the first law of nature.
Oh, no, I know that one, but it's another one. But anyway, the point is that no, we don't have to. We're not going to just wait 4 years. We're looking at everything legally that we can, but we also know that we're not going to just sit by and just wait 4 years, twiddling our thumbs and waiting on something to get unstalled in committee, because who knows what's going on with that. So no, we have to look at, as was pointed out, we are the people. We are the people, and we hired these people. And yeah, we don't, you know what, regretting a vote is regretting a vote. But I'm not so sure what we would have gotten with the other Democratic candidates. So I'm not even going to waste my time with that.
That's right.
So no, Brother Martin, I want you to know this, and I want our people that's listening, more importantly, because you already know this, but we want our people to know that, make no mistake, you all, we may seem unorganized and disunited, and all that may have been true at one time, but God himself is bringing his people together, and it ain't got nothing to do with any particular religion. This is the work of the Most High. You got to remember that those that know God in any form of God, God is a just God. He is a God of justice. So we're not sitting back like we hopeless. Yeah, we talking about being poor and destitute and our youth dying. We're talking about all that because that's what's real. But that's not the whole of our reality. So we're not going to exist on that level. So, Brother Martin, we are organizing in ways. We have experts, anointed people that are anointed to unite us. The brothers are standing with us. I'm so glad of what Brother Mark said tonight, because that is critically important. But no, we're not just sitting back and waiting. I can't answer it fully as to what we will do. But what we do know is that we're not going to just sit back and just, allow these things to happen to our children.
I got a question. I got a question for Brother Mark, Sister Erica, then Sister Dorsey. The question is, okay, now, since the immigration, the illegal immigration, the migrants, the asylum seekers, this have our attention in the Black community. But now, what other policy is going on that we don't know and we're not paying attention to? This could be just a smokescreen to get our attention to focus 100% on the migrants, and we should, but what are the city council doing? What laws are they passing? What monies are they sending to different communities? I know Mark, he's good with that. Maybe he could tell us about that. Mark, help me out.
So it's budget season right now.
Right, that's right.
They're cutting the budget up. They're determining where the money is going. This is our time to strike. This is our time to raise the people up with our agenda, demand what we need and what we want, And if they're not willing to go in the direction that we're going in, then we start organizing. I don't give a damn if we got to vote for some Republicans, if we got to run some of us as Republicans, Democrats, Independent, whatever. We have got to upset this apple cart. But if we go along to get along, hope that they're going to do the right thing, they're going to mess over us again. That's a fact. That's a fact. So this is about, today I talked to the Chicago chairman of the Republican Party, the Chicago chairman of the Republican Party. And I told him that y'all may want to take a look at this right here in terms of the national Republican resources. Because see, we ain't got the money that's needed to really go at these people like we want to. So we can use them. We'll use them. We'll use them to our advantage. Because I'm not Democrat or Republican. Okay, both parties racist. Both parties, headed up by white men. So
exactly.
I'm not going to take the Democratic Party and act like it's anything different than the Republican Party. But one thing you can count on with those Republicans is that they're going to go against our most open enemies. And that's these racist unions, especially the trade unions, and they're going to go against immigration. Why? Because immigration impacts their people no different than it impacts our people. So this is no thing of getting up under them, taking orders from them. No, this is me telling them that y'all better wake y'all stupid asses up. You know what I'm saying? For y'all get hit by the same hammer that we getting hit by. And we speak from a strong position, not subordinate, a superior position, because we have just as much power in numbers as they have. We may not have all the money, but we got the power in numbers. And if we get together as Americans and go against this immigrant supremacy, because it is immigrant supremacy. Everywhere that you look across the country, these immigrants have been practicing supremacy and burning our people out in California, assaulting our people in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the same thing in Florida, New York, and all these places. If we don't stop these immigrants, ain't no goddamn migrants and asylum seekers. These are illegal immigrants who are coming here because they were either ran out of the country or just walked over here and don't have no plans on going back. So if that means they have to take over our neighborhoods, then that's what they plan on doing. And so the budget season is going on right now. Everybody, Mama Doris, when you get a chance, if you haven't done it, give that address. And everybody meet us there tomorrow at that address. It starts there, and we're going to expand it all over the city. Educate the people, organize the people, and any of these old niggas that got a problem with us, step forward so we can get into it with your ass. I'm talking about these black men, these old black men that's been working with these white folks against us. Get in our way so we can move your ass.
All right.
And if there are people out there who are listening to us, and you want us to come and speak to your group, or 5 or 6, 10 people, we will come, because it's about educating Black people about what's going on, because they don't know. They really don't know. And so tomorrow, we're having this press conference at 2325 East 71st Street at 4 p.m. Join us tomorrow. Come out. And so you can be seen. So he can see that people are upset. People are no longer going to tolerate this. This is about the future of your children's children. Do you want our children to have a future or not? It's up to us. Now, I want to say, Sister Victoria mentioned that we're reaching out nationally to try to get somebody to come in here and represent us. I was told by a judge that you will not be able to find one Black lawyer to take on this immigration issue. Listen to this, because they don't want a backlash from the Hispanics. So we have gone from being scared of the white man to now scared of Hispanics, who are white too.
Tell the truth.
Come on, Black folks.
And shame the devil.
Come on. How you are in? This is an insult to our ancestors. We stand on the backs of Black men and women who survived that Middle Passage.
That's right. That's right.
Come on. And as Carter said, we've got to educate ourselves. And Martin, I would hope that you would do a show a week to educate Black people. That's why we didn't want any calls tonight. Because I don't feel like arguing with black people. I want to educate black folks.
I know.
Mhm.
See, that wasn't my
I
idea,
don't have
people.
any energy to be arguing with black folks anymore.
And Sister Doris, I didn't want my people, they called in, I didn't want my people thinking I'm acting funny. Like when I told Mark, I just did, you guys requested, you didn't want no callers. I asked you, gave you an option. You said, no, we don't need no callers. Let this be a learning lesson. And I'm learning.
Yeah. And Mark is well educated about all of this. They have not been listening to him. He didn't just start talking about this. But 99.910% of our people don't know anything about this plan.
Give us the address tomorrow,
But
Sister
you
Doris.
see, your people ain't working in your community.
Give us the address and the time where the press conference is going to take place.
12325 East 71st Street in front of Desmond Yancey's office at 4 p.m.
Sure.
And
And,
one
so-
of the
and it
things,
was the third person that he wanted to answer that question. Who was the third one? Sister Erica?
Yes.
well, one other thing, the budget hearing is going on. We've got to start filling that city council chamber, going to these committee meetings in that council, because these Hispanics are running everything. He's put them over everything. So we have to show up. That's the way you can help. Show up. If you're at home not doing anything, go down there.
Okay. Sister Erica, come on, Sister Erica.
Yes, Brother Martin.
Say that address again, Sister Erica. Give us the address again, one more time.
Sister Doris, get that address.
2325 East 71st Street at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday.
That's in front of Alderman Yancey's office.
Desmond Yancey's office, the 5th Ward Alderman, 2325 East 71st Street at 4 p.m.
Sister Erica, before you say something, I was at Ronnie Mosley. He had something at the church, 113th Halston, and he said it. I have it in the clip that FEMA said that they want their money to use strictly for the migrants. I mean, they put emphasis on it. Nobody else but the migrants. FEMA now. This FEMA. But go ahead, Sister Erica.
Well, I'm glad you made that point, because they will not even allow the homeless population that's been present in Chicago to go into these same shelters where the illegal immigrants are. They're not welcome there. And they've been on the housing waiting list for years. And they have allowed the illegal immigrants to jump them in line, making them a priority, giving them housing and all types of vouchers and resources, and knock these people down in line. Some of them told me that they were told that they were like 2 months away from getting housing. When those buses start rolling in, they knock them to the end of the line. Now they're waiting for years again.
And I want to point out that can I interject?
As far as
Erica?
Let's just Erica go.
And let me interject real quickly that we also know that the Ukrainians are here getting housing vouchers also. I don't know if we're not getting the numbers. They're not reporting the numbers, but the Ukrainians are definitely here, and they also are getting the benefits that Sister Erica is missing. And I'm sorry, Sister Erica, I just wanted to interject that.
Well, the Ukrainians are also being approved for SSI. And we know how long people have been waiting to get SSI, people that's really qualified and bona fide, and how many times they've been denied. But they come right in the country and they get in line and fill out the paperwork and they get it overnight.
Yep.
So this is, it's an ongoing thing. But what you said about the diversion, there are so many things that's happening around us, okay? A big part of this illegal immigration thing is that the Democratic Party needs votes. Yep. They need votes. So that's one of the biggest things. See, they're not going to be able to steal the election as they did before. They know that they have lost the black vote. So now they're bringing new people in to vote for them. So President Biden gave 500,000 illegal immigrants expedited work permits. Now, what's next is they'll get a Social Security card. They'll be able to vote. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So all of this it's a plot. It's a plot. And then even bigger, Brother Martin, I want to say this so our people can be on high alert. There are sleeper cells coming to this border. And if these people don't win this election, I'm talking about these demonic Democrats. If they don't win this election, they plan to do something catastrophic in this country. So you all be very vigilant. Try and stay away from these big venues and things like that. I just seen that it was another mass shooting. It just came across my TV, breaking news.
Oh, wow.
It's in another state though. Yeah,
Oh,
like
wow.
10 or 13 people were just shot down.
Oh, wow.
But you're gonna see a lot of those type of events. Don't be surprised if something go boom. I'm just letting you know this is it. And before they give up their power, they will take all of us out. I want y'all to understand that. And I'm going to tell you this. If you cast a vote for Joe Biden, you will be considered a traitor to your people. Joe Biden does not have no love for the Black community. And he's never hid that. Even if you vote for another Democrat in these ones that are down there in the city council, including Brandon Johnson, you will be considered a traitor to your people. And like Mark said, don't claim Democrat, don't claim Republican. What you do, you vote for policy. Policy. That's why me and Sister Doris was pushing the contract for Black Chicago so hard. We should never cast a vote without getting something in return first.
That's right.
See, first, not later. Not when I get in there, I'm going to make you a promise that I never fulfill. You're going to fulfill it now. And that's bringing me to reparations. See, all of this money is going to Ukraine. Now they gonna talk. They say they sending something to Israel. You got all these other countries, Venezuela, all these illegal immigrants, and we are without our reparations. So my idea is when this DNC come here next year, we shut it down. We shut this whole city down. And when I say shut it down, I mean boycott CTA. We don't go to work. And I mean not just for a day. So start saving y'all little duckies right now. If we have to stay out for a few days to make them feel the pain, we have to redistribute the pain. Let them feel what we have been feeling all along. We cannot allow them to keep ignoring our demands for reparations while they're throwing money away. Joe Biden is fighting a proxy war with Russia right now to secure Ukraine's border, but America's border is wide open. Does that make any sense? They're setting us up, Brother Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm talking about the diversion. They are setting us up. They're telling us to look at over here. Look at Trump. He's going to trial. Biden's son and all this. They tell it, showing us all this, but the border is wide open. And one thing I'm going to say about Donald Trump, he told us all of this was going to happen. But for the most part, Black people listen to the corporate media, and we were deceived. So I'm just telling you, If you vote for Joe Biden, don't think it's going to get better. It's only going to get worse.
Hmm. Hmm. I had another question. I forgot. I had another question. I think it was a real good question. Now, somebody give me the numbers. Do anyone know how many migrants a day is coming into Chicago? So we kind of get a ballpark, because we don't know if those numbers that they're telling us are accurate or not. So,
Well, I heard 12 to 1,400 a day.
so if you multiply that,
I heard 12.
wow. So if somebody multiply 1,200 times 30, so we'll know, get around about.
That's 36,000.
Okay, a month. Man, they're gonna have numbers. They're gonna have numbers. And I want to say this.
They already in our group of homeless population.
Yeah, I want to say this, and they haven't, and they're using young men. They got young war age men. I brought that out, and young ladies that make babies. But my point is, people, why is it that the black men and women always seem to cannot see what is being done to the black community? I mean, it's just, you could just see it. Are they scared of these white folks, or are they paid off? What is it? We see it. We see it. And don't get me wrong, people. I don't have the type of heart that I be hard on poor people and things like that. But I think America have promised the migrants something. And that's why they coming over here.
They did.
They don't care about no Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, slavery. Somebody got a baby talking, so we got to put your phone on mute, please. Thank you. They don't care about our history, what we built here. They're here to compete and eat. That's all they do. And you know they told them to stay away from us. Don't talk to us. Have you noticed no migrants have really talked to Black America? None of them. They'd already prepped them people and say, don't talk to the Black community. Go ahead, Sister Doris. Go ahead.
And you know what? Government is
what's talking to Black folks in Venezuela.
Yeah.
No, that you don't. This is the government of the United States of America. This could not happen without the government leading this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the government of the United States. And it is to replace us, to remove us, to subjugate us, to rob us of our history and everything. I go back to what Minister Farrakhan said years ago. They have no more use for us.
Mm-hmm.
They are done with us.
Mm-hmm.
And
See,
he also just said it's time for us to separate.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't been listening. They want us off the land.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us here. And so that's why the teaching is so important, for us to come on and give the facts, give the information. We're not making this stuff up. We can give you 5 or 6 bills that they have passed specifically for immigrants, that Black men and women up there in that Congress sponsored or co-sponsored. This stuff is real, people.
And Brother Martin, do you know how many countries that they came through, just say coming from Venezuela to America? You know how many countries they have to come through to get to America? It doesn't even make sense that if you are suffering in your country, you wouldn't go to the country right next to yours. Why would you march all the way in a straight line, or organized straight line to America? I mean, they have an invitation to come here. They were promised things.
Yes, they were.
From the government
by Biden and the CTU, and Brandon Johnson them went over there a few years ago. People don't want to believe that, but they are involved in this as well.
You know, as a retired teacher, my opinion of the Chicago Teachers Union, they are gangsters. They're no longer educators. They are gangsters. They are pushing this agenda of the Democratic Party. Anytime the Chicago Teachers Union organized teachers told their teachers to go to Brighton Park, they had more teachers in the building than they did the community up there. They wouldn't even let the community people in. These are teachers who are supposed to be educators. They are gangsters. The Chicago Teachers Union is a gangster organization. It's a mafia led by white Jewish Potter Jackson.
Sister Doris, let me say this, and we should have the same mentality as they have. They mobilized, they've gotten organized, and they're pushing their agenda with their own people. And we can do the exact same thing.
That's what we're doing.
We could do the exact same thing. I mean, it's 25,000 teachers, 25,000 people.
Yep.
Yeah. Just making an impact here on the city of Chicago. They putting their money where their mouth is. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we were doing, Martin, with Contract with Black Chicago 2023. That's what that was all about. It was placed in Brandon Johnson's hand by me and by Sister Erica. Every Black alderman got a copy. Every Black alderman got a copy. So we're going to take it. They're going to do something with it or else. That's just how serious this is. We are fighting for our survival.
And Brother Martin, I just want to say this. I personally went to 19 of the 20 Black alderman offices and dropped off a turquoise colored bag with information about the history of reparations, the money that they keep allocating for the illegal immigrants. At the time, it was $51 million. The sex education curriculum that J.D. Pritzker is pushing, which is really pedophilia, that they're pushing in the Chicago public school system. The CTU isn't saying anything about it. Kim Fox isn't saying anything about it. Although you see how fast she moved on R. Kelly for pedophilia, she's not trying to say anything about J.D. Pritzker pushing pedophilia on our children in the public school system in Illinois. Tom Dart isn't saying anything. None of the police superintendents are saying anything. Our children are under attack. And no one is saying anything. Brandon Johnson isn't saying anything. Kwame Raoul isn't saying anything. I mean, it's ridiculous. None of the, let me say this last part. The faith-based people are not saying anything. And I'm gonna close it right there.
Okay. Let me just say this. I want to say about that. Now, I didn't do a protest. I was videoing a protest. They were talking about the same gender locker room and bathroom out there in Palos, and they don't want that out there. That's predominantly white and I believe Muslim. A lot of Muslim people are Palestinians.
Exactly.
Out there. And they came out in numbers. They had numbers. And it's just like Sister
100.
Yeah, Erica, when you talk about pedophilia, homosexuality, lesbian, gay, everybody, they get afraid. They feel, they get afraid. They get afraid. So they get real quiet. Don't say anything. They go politically correct, if I may say that. But go ahead. Change the conversation just a little bit.
Yeah. What I want to say to them of being afraid, we should fear God and only God. Okay, God already gave us a warning using allegories in both books. These type of behaviors are considered an abomination in God's eyes. Not in my eyes. It's not me. Because I follow what he says. And that's what most of us do. But we all fall short. And all I'm saying is you as an adult, if that's what you want to do, you do you. But we cannot allow these politicians to prey on these children. A little girl should be able to go and use the bathroom and not look up and see a naked man in there with her or a naked little boy. Little girls should be able to have their sports without having a man competing against them. It's all wrong.
I got a golden question, and we've been on here. Let me see what time. We can run into another 20 minutes. That'd be 2 hours. Let me ask you guys a question. I don't care who answered. Now, why is it that the Hispanic, the Latino neighborhood, they didn't want the migrants where they was at in Brighton Park and Pilsen? Why is it that? Why we think that? Now, these are their own people. Why do you think that
they don't get along?
Okay.
Venezuelans and Mexicans don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get along, and they would rather them drop them in our community and cause a divide and conquer atmosphere than go over there messing with the Hispanics because, just to keep it 100, that's their new slave.
Mm-hmm.
That's their new slave. See, and if we don't make our move like right now, whatever we say or do won't make a difference because they'll have their new slave in place.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Let me just say something else. And people, please don't forget about what I said about educating yourselves about some things. Think about, and so none of this is by chance. And if you start doing the research on the CTU trip to Venezuela back in 2019, and the fact that they came back talking about how they liked the socialist views that they had over there. Like I said, ain't none of this stuff an accident. And so we have to be mindful of paying attention to things that have happened in the past. And when I say, and I sat down and basically I just Googled CTU's relationship with Venezuela. Read it. It's deep. This ain't no accident. And if you listen to the talking points of the people, they have a plan. And I don't know if the plan is the oil because Venezuela is oil rich, but they got a plan in place. We just aren't privy to it.
Wow. Let me say this.
The plan.
Go ahead.
The plan is to remove us.
That's the plan. That's it.
The plan, and that's the only thing we need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
The plan is to remove us,
Say it, sister.
and the government of the United States has opened the door, sanctioned it, and everything, legalized it in every other way you can think of. It's the government of the United States. And what they did, they put black faces. They put black faces in place because they know we're going to be reluctant to go against our own. New York, Chicago, St. Louis. They put black faces in place to do it. That was a plan. This plan has been going on for a long time to move us, to subjugate us, to basically enslave us again.
Don't think it's not possible. And I'm gonna be honest. Can I make a confession on here? I gotta be honest with you guys. It's hard for me to vote for a white person. Period. I mean, I would almost vote against my interests. To see another white man over us is real hard. God gonna have to work with me on that. It's real hard for me. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. They have done us in so much.
Let me
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead. You
Let
can
me
respond.
to you, sir.
Yeah.
Now, I told you before y'all got behind Brandon that everybody that had their hand up his ass like the puppet that he is, but not only white, but they white Jews. Now y'all see, you think that they're not smart enough to know the way you think, and they know most people think the way you think, so they don't mind putting a black face on that white lie. Now we keep going for that black face on that white lie, then everything at our age that happens to us and our children is our damn fault. Especially as men, it's our fault. Because we got to get our mindset out of this thing of thinking just because that person is black that they automatically on some black stuff. They done showed you time and time again, election after election, that they'll put a black face there that they control.
Yep.
And so this time, we have to go beyond skin color. We have to make them bring their agendas to the table and tell us how they're going to either cut us in or cut us out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not just get caught up on this, well, you know, I ain't finna. That ain't no black person. Brandon ain't no black person when everybody behind him, a bunch of damn Jews telling him what to do. His agenda is not his. Again, they know to put a black face on there and log y'all to sleep and have y'all thinking that you got a black candidate, but everybody in their cabinet is white and Hispanic. And y'all not paying attention to all these people under Brandon Johnson, a bunch of these socialists and communists and progressives. And the question is, what the hell is wrong with us? We know what they about. So hey, look, let me say this to you, Martin. As men, our first job is the protection of our women and children. So that means that we must go against a person who appears to be black that got a white team, then so be it. Go against them. I knew that Paul Vallis was cut from that old cloth, and if he didn't know how to do nothing else, he knew how he wasn't gonna go along with that whole immigrant plan like that. He was gonna play that same old playbook that Daley and them had, which is nowhere near as worse as this stuff with these progressives are pushing. Taking out babies, grammar school children, and got transvestites reading to these babies. Pushing this lewd program in the schools, and then got the people being quiet, not speaking out. They can't never let them try to tell me.
And firing the black like teachers, and firing the black leadership and the teachers and the principals and all of the above, getting them all out the way so that they
can push that pedophilia.
Access to these children 5 days a week. Every day.
They want the minds of our babies. They want the minds of our babies to be corrupt with this sick agenda. Whatever grown folks decide they want to do in terms of their sexuality, that's their business. But don't bring your ass around my kids pushing. I don't want to see no heterosexual people kissing and doing all type of lewd stuff around the children. You gay or straight, you keep that old lewdness away from these babies. Grammar school children.
That's right.
What reason do they have to be pushing this madness amongst the children?
Santa Claus's boyfriend in the school. Santa Claus boyfriend. That's what somebody told me personally. The little girl brought that home. It was in her book bag. A little girl, like first grade, kindergarten or first grade. Somebody that I know personally. So our people is
you don't understand when you hear them say
We're not just talking, you all.
So when they say progressive, that's code word for anti-blackness. I don't care if it's a black face on it. When you hear them say progressive, when they say progressive, when they say DEI, when they say the DEI stands for diversity, equity, inclusion. When you hear them say black and brown, you hear them say minority. All those are code words for anti-blackness. Don't give black Americans nothing. And I say black Americans because these Africans are up with it. These Africans and these Caribbeans, they're along with it, going right along with the Mexicans. They're going along with these Jews and these other immigrants to undermine us. Don't you be fooled by no damn Africans because they quote unquote appear to look like us. I can show you in writing in the document where these Africans and Caribbeans are aligned with this immigrant agenda. I can also show you where groups like Cobra, NARC, and Institute of the Black World, which are Black American organizations, are in line with this immigrant agenda against us too. So I don't want to hear nothing from them damn dashiki wearing, spanking incense, burning niggas at that African fest. The hell with them too. We don't want to hear nothing from none of them.
Mark going in.
walking around here, got you thinking on some black stuff, some mustache that is on. You know what I'm saying? They ain't hear nothing from no black folks. They ain't hear nothing about no goddamn Africans, no Pan-Africanists. You tell them to be Pan-Chicago. Since they say that they so Pan-Africans, well, before you get way over to Africa, be Pan-Chicago, be Pan-Detroit, be Pan, you know what I'm saying, California, be Pan. All these black areas that's been taken, and some of them old phony-ass Pan-Africanists in those cities, and they didn't do a damn thing for black people, so we don't want to hear what the hell they got to say either.
Okay, people, we got last 10 minutes. I want each of you guys take about 3 minutes, closing remarks, what you want to get out there. And we'll start from my dear sister from the top. I think she is, what's that sister? The first sister came on. We'll start with her.
Kata.
Yeah,
Kata,
okay.
and here I am. Basically,
go ahead.
Basically, what I want to say to the people is, listen, we got to educate ourselves about what's going on around us. It is time for us to take our heads out of the sand and pay attention to what's going on around us. These people are not here to assist us. They're not here to help us. They are here to take from us. And don't take it any different than that.
All right. Sister Doris, you can take about 4 minutes. She didn't take a long time. Go ahead, Sister Doris. Yeah.
Tomorrow, October the 26th, 4 p.m., we're demonstrating in front of Desmond Yass's 5th Ward, located at 2325 East 71st Street. And my last comment to Black Chicago is that they are working seriously on a plan to replace us from everything. They don't intend to give us a job or anything else. They're going to put these illegal immigrants, migrants in those positions. So what does that mean for our children? What does that mean for us socially, economically, politically? They're pushing us out of the city, away from everything. Our children in these public school systems will not have the resources that are necessary to educate them. They're steady trying to push Black teachers out of the way, as someone spoke about earlier. Black principals who are strong Black men who have made a difference in some of these quote unquote bad schools. But they don't want them there. So that should tell you right then and there. These people are not about anything righteous. These are some gangsters. And we got to treat them like they're gangsters for our mere survival. We got to stop allowing people to tell us to love everybody. I don't love everybody. Hell, you don't even love everybody in your family. So what kind of sense does that make? You don't love these people. You love your own people. And you stand up and you fight and you get involved. Go to the city council meetings. As I said, if there's anyone who's listening who would like us to come and speak to them, educate them, we would be willing to do it. We are in a fight for our lives, and we better treat it that way.
Okay. All right. Next caller.
Yes, Brother Martin.
Yeah, go ahead. Did you said you wanted to read something, right, Sister Erica?
I did want
to. Go ahead and read it. Go ahead, real quick. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's get it out the way.
So this is called The History of Reparations in the United States. Reparations is a system of redress for egregious injustices. They are not foreign to the United States. Native Americans have received land, billions of dollars for various benefits and programs for being forcibly exiled from their native lands. Japanese Americans were awarded $1.5 billion. The people that were in the World War II camp. Additionally, the United States, via the Marshall Plan, helped to ensure that Jews receive reparations for the Holocaust. including making various investments over time. In 1952, West Germany agreed to pay $3.45 billion to Holocaust survivors. Black Americans are the only group that has not received reparations for state-sanctioned racial discrimination, while slavery afforded some white families the ability to accrue tremendous wealth. And we must note that American slavery was particularly brutal. About 15% of the enslaved ships from the Western African died during transport. The enslaved were regularly beaten and lynched for different infractions. Slavery also disrupted families, as 1 in 3 marriages were split up. For reparations can be made on the economic, social, and moral grounds. The United States had multiple opportunities to atone for slavery, each a missed chance to make the American dream a reality, but has yet to undertake significant action. This statement of fact can be the basis of starting the process to address reparations for Blacks in America who are descendants of slaves. Therefore, there's no need for a study or a commission. The reason why I wanted to read that is I don't have my glasses on either, so I was stumbling. But the reason why I wanted to read that is because every time we go and say that we demand our reparations, the government says, okay, we're going to do a study. We're going to make a commission. We're going to have a committee. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Did they have to do a study for Ukraine? Did they do a study for the illegal immigrants? Did they do a study for, they going to send all this money to Israel. Did they do a study for that? So my point is we cannot allow them to play the same old game on us no more. We demanding our reparations, and that's it, and that's all. And I want to say this last thing. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan asked us to ask our people to do him a favor. Get the back page of the Final Call newspaper and read the Muslim program. Because a lot of us think that reparations should only consist of money, but we also need land. In order for us to be considered an independent people, we have to have land. That's right. We need hospitals. We need our own independent schools. You understand? See, we're trying to force our way into that world. And I get it, you know what I mean, because we're not separated. But God is forcing us to separate, and we have to come to the realization that if they don't want to take this comprehensive sex education curriculum out of the school, we have to take our children out. That's it. We cannot leave our children in the devil's den and think they're going to come out angels. And that's all I need to say, Brother Mike.
Okay. Sister V, you still on here, Pastor V?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead. Take about 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever you need.
Okay, thank you so much. I just kind of want to talk to the people. The things that have been said are so extremely important and critical. So I think about our people, Black people, descendants of slaves, the enslaved. And we are very soft-hearted people. We are very, very loving. We are compassionate. There are really no people like us on the planet, nowhere on the planet like us, particularly us in North America, that have gone through a very specific kind of experience. And so this program tonight has been to educate, provide information, information that you can actually verify. Everything that was talked about tonight can be researched. You can find it somewhere. We are people that we don't really pick fights we don't pick fights with other people. We really don't. Now we'll pick some fights amongst ourselves, but we don't really pick fights with other people. But this is an assault on our community. It's an assault on our children. It's an assault on our great-grandchildren and those that are yet to come. And it's real. And it's not going away. No matter how we might want to ignore it, explain it away. Oh, it's not that deep. It's not that serious. Oh, we got to love everybody. All of those things. What we talked about tonight is real. And I'm going to close with two things. I'm going to go to Holy Scripture. So the formula that's given to witness, you all, in the book of Acts, Acts 2, we are told to witness in Jerusalem and then to witness in Samaria and then to witness in the uttermost parts of the world. So Scripture is saying Jerusalem represents home, your home base, yourself first. Samaria represents what people used to call the other side of the tracks, the people on the other side of the tracks. You know, the people that in your family, you like, oh, that's just such and such. You don't have to pay attention to him or her. Those people are the Samarians. And then the third one is everybody else. So even in Scripture, soft-hearted people, we are told that we have to care for ourselves first. We have to care for ourselves first, period. It's even in Scripture. Last thing I want to say, I'm going to ask you all, because I've done this, I'm going to ask you to look in the eyes of your children, particularly if they're underage, under 18, like 16 and under, or any age for that matter. Look in your eyes of your children, and if you have any grandchildren or nieces or nephews, cousins, whatever you have, the little ones in particular, and you look in their eyes, and you say to yourself, what do they deserve? What are you willing to do for what you see in those children's eyes? What are you willing to give up? Get involved, you all. Come to the press conference tomorrow. Get involved. Follow us. You know how to get to us now. You can get to us through Martin. But the thing is that this is not going to go away. We can't wish it away. God bless you. We love you. That's why we're doing this. And Brother Martin, we all want to thank you. And basically, that's really all I want to say is that this is what it is. And we have to see it and know it and be willing to do what we have to do for our children, period.
All right. Just before I go to the last person, Mark Carter, I want to say to my callers that called in, I had strict instructions not to allow anyone to come in. They just wanted this to be a teaching moment, a learning lesson. They didn't want to debate. So they did allow Mark Carter to come in. He wasn't part of the program, but they allowed him. They gave me the okay. So I allowed that. I just want to apologize for those that called. I did say earlier, we was not accepting any calls. So, okay, Mark, you're my last person. Finish it off. Mark Carter.
Well, I ain't gonna
go ahead.
I ain't gonna get in the way. I said enough tonight, so I'm gonna get on out of the way.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you. All right, well, people, you already know what it is. This is live, uncut. He spoke his truth, and it was a lot of truth here, people.
Thank you, Brother Martin.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Martin. Thank you so much.
All right, again, Sister Doris, tell us that address again.
Thank you for allowing us the platform. We appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you, guys, for
a demonstration in front of 5th Ward Alderman Desmond Yancey's office, located at 2325 East 71st Street at 4 p.m. Please join us. Join us for your children.
Mhm. All right. All right, people. This is live, uncut, unedited. This was a teaching moment, a learning moment. And I know there's other things that's going on around the world, pedophilia, transgenders, talking to our young children. As Mark Carter said, that what two grown folks do in their bedroom, that's between them two. I think he said something similar, but let us not push this on our babies. And he's 100% correct. And I do believe in the boys' bathroom, boys' locker room, and I believe in the girls' locker room and the girls' bathroom should be separate. That's my stand. If you want to say I'm anti this, well, I am anti whatever you think I am. So this is live, uncut, unedited. Appreciate you guys. Hey, you already know what it is. What the time is. Live, uncut, unedited. And this is where we tell the truth and what? And shame the devil. Black people, I love being black. Wake up, black people. I love being black. Now, we did all this hollering and screaming. If we don't get organized, if we don't get organized, it means nothing. We have to fight. We see the plan now. It's clear. The dust is settled. We see, just as Sister Doris said, we are being replaced. Now, her generation, my generation may be okay, but the future, the young people are really in trouble. Thank you, Sister Doris, for putting that message out there for us. Thank you, Sister Erica, Pastor V, our first sister, Mark Carter. Good night. Share the live, people. Share it, and we out here. Good night, everybody.